Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and this time we're going to look at a game called Battletoads. This was created by Rare and licensed to Electronic Arts in 1994, but this was originally an NES game created by Rare and licensed to Tradewest in 1991. This is the arcade version, and even though the cabinet has three different control panels to it, or sets of controls to it. From what I can tell, you can only play two-player simultaneous play at most. There is the NES box, and that was really popular. It's a very tough beat-em-up game, and here are the characters for Battletoads. There is Zitz, and they all have names based on skin diseases or skin conditions. Rash, excuse me. And then there is also Pimple. Nice. The game has a great sense of humor. It's really gory at times and really perverted at other times. I remember seeing this briefly in a nickel arcade back in the day. I kind of enjoyed it, but the game just seems interminable. It just goes on forever. But there are several different levels. You can once in a while collect a toad icon, and that will let you perform a special move by pressing the jump button. But the game's basic premise is that there are three toads. There's a Pimple right there. I don't know which is best. I'm afraid I can't tell you, but they have a mentor called, I can't remember his name, but he's like a vulture professor, and their main antagonist is the Dark Queen, and she's this incredibly sexy, huge woman dressed in a black dominatrix type of outfit. And that is the first boss you will have to face. But there are various rat-type creatures that you will have to kill. Various pig-type creatures as well. And some of them you can kick at the fourth wall, which is kind of cool. They did that in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade games too. But the game gets really bloody at times. The toads have moves that they can do on downed enemies that can result in them decapitating them or destroying their heads, leaving a bloody pile. And when you beat the enemies in general, you often leave skeletons, and that's gross. Stomps on his head or punches his head till it's a bloody mess. And then on occasion there will be flies that you can eat just by pressing the attack button near them, and your tongue will flick out and eat them, and you'll get some energy back. And on occasion you can use crates. You can use some ginormous weapons that can smash your enemies. And you can do a move automatically when enemies surround you that will hurt both enemies. And the enemies will get better and better as the game progresses at surrounding you. Definitely use those giant crates to your advantage. And yeah, those big enemies, you can often kick them off the screen when they've taken enough damage. These guys are a pain in the butt. If you let them get close, they can whack you with their maces. and they're electrified. We're not far from the boss of this first level. Sorry, I'm still trying to shake my cold. I get short of breath pretty easily sometimes. Or my voice gives out. I lost a life there. But this game has funny moments, and the violence is ridiculous, but the game just doesn't seem to end. It takes forever. It can take an hour to complete easily. But something else that I find, oh, that's disgusting. Yeah, you can behead your enemies sometimes. But the thing that I find that's stupid, and here is the boss, you have to get out of the way when he jumps at you. You make this shocked look when he appears. And you can kick him off the screen, but he'll return numerous times. You need to get out of the way quickly. He'll do a charge at you. But one thing I think is really stupid is that the main antagonist of the game, of the Battletoads series, the Dark Queen, you don't even face her in this game. You face a different final boss. That's kind of stupid. That's a real letdown, especially having played the game for over an hour. I will not do a full playthrough, thank goodness. I will just show you clips of the whole game. But don't get close to him. He can maybe run you over, or he can get in some hits a little too quickly. You don't have to keep kicking him off the screen. In fact, maybe it's best if you don't. I'm not sure. Whoops. Don't get too close. But you have 3 lives for each player. And like I said, whoops, crap. And like I said, I almost had him beat, and I lost that life. And like I said, you can only play, as far as I can tell, 2 players at once, not 3. And you get points tallied up after beating a level, depending on how many of each types of enemies you've beaten. And that arm there is, I guess, your toads finding out what your next boss is, and it's going to be this giant snake thing. And we start in this snowy area. There's going to be hills that you go down or up, and the traction is pretty bad. Once in a while, well, actually I think only a couple times, this big reindeer will charge at you, and you need to be careful. And we're back to the rats now. Sometimes you'll be in areas where there's falling icicles. And these guys are one type of enemy that I hate most in this game. I'm not a fan of this guy either, but those guys that can splat on your head are a pain in the butt, and you have to push forward against the wind and jump over or duck under the snowballs that this snowman throws. You have to have a lot of patience. And you have to face multiple snowmen. But yeah, of the 3 toads, I'm not sure which is the best. Again, their names are Zitz, Rash, and Pimple. Now we face these redneck rats, and they've got machine guns, and when you beat them up, they sometimes get up and barf. Maybe they're barfing moonshine or something. And again, you sometimes get the flies that you can eat to recover your energy. God, I hate these little bastards. They are annoying. They just splat you into the ground by jumping on them. Whoops, I was not ready for this guy. But yeah, your toads can all do special attacks. There's no special joystick maneuver or button push. Just like jumping. You can do a dash, pressing left or right and the attack button. And this guy will smash his enemies with a football helmet. But there's cool little effects that your characters can do. And we are just about at the final boss here of the boss of the second level. And there he is. I just love the reaction of the toad freaking out. If that snake does get his teeth on you, you are in for a world of hurt. He can easily kill you with one bite. But you can pull off multiple charge hits sometimes on this snake if he's got his teeth stuck in the ground. But yeah, you press left or right twice quickly and the attack button to do the charge attack. And the charge attacks look different for each... Ouch. Yeah, I'm dead. The charge attacks look different for each toad. He burps. This game is funny. I'm not gonna continue here, but we will see snippets of the rest of the game. I didn't quite make the high score list, I guess. And there I kill him here. Gross, his head comes off. Oftentimes when you beat an enemy, you can run up and kick him off the screen. Nobody is the dealer of death, because I only beat that boss. But when you play multiplayer, there's the Dark Queen, hyper sexualized. But yeah, you don't even face her at the end of the game. It's stupid. But if you play multiplayer mode, then it's a competition to see who gets the most points after a level is beaten. And here at this space station, you've got rats that carry giant wrenches. But this game does have a fantastic sense of humor. It's playable, but it's just way too long. Yeah, you can get hurt by those engines. You can also catch a rat taking a dump in the restroom. It's funny. And you smush the enemies into the ground with this character with your foot that becomes a 1-ton weight. But yeah, these redneck type rats barf on the ground after you've beaten them up. You can collect their machine guns and use them. I like when you knock them off the ledge. Their scream is funny. And this guy, you can get close to him and grab his junk and punch it. This game just has a hilariously demented sense of humor. They'll make a certain type of groan when they've been beaten, so listen for that. Otherwise, they're gonna get up. And now here's the boss. This level, it's a giant robotic rat, and notice the Dark Queen hologram in the background. You just have to keep hitting him. I put on invincibility at some point. But yeah, with this toad, when you jump and attack, he has like this big anvil or something that he hits his enemies with. So each toad has kind of a cool little effect with maybe some of the more mundane things that they can do. Like I said, definitely playable and very funny and gory, but painfully long. Just painfully long. I re-uploaded this, the original video I did of this. I had to take over an hour, and I don't want to make a video that lasts that long. The parts that you break off of this Robo-Rat, you can kick back at the rat and cause damage to him. And there, I've destroyed him. Wow! I like the little scream he makes. The corpse count. The branchy frazzles. Was there a guy named Gonad? Pimple is the Duke of Destruction. And now we have a bonus round where you just simply destroy this spaceship. Just keep breaking different parts of it. You have a limited amount of time. It takes a long time to destroy, though. Now you have to get on top of the ship, and you'll stomp on the wings. Eventually, when you get to the cockpit being all that's left, and it tips over on its side, go over to the side and break the cockpit. That'll be the last part you have to deal with. But yeah, you're gonna need all your time. Come on, just break already. Good gravy. You gotta... Shoo. Just made it. Then you get a 50 kill bonus, which is, I guess 50 points. You don't score much in this game. And then this is a preview of the next boss you will face. Some like warthog or something. Or maybe it's a hedgehog. Now we do this we do this descending part where you can use your special attacks that I mentioned earlier, where you see your toad symbol and you press the jump button here and you will swing around in a certain special effect that's each toad has a different one, and you don't get to collect those gross you don't get to collect those toad icons very often. But a special scenario like this is where you can use it. A weird sound effect. You got these little monster things with jaws that come out of the sides. And you just need to reach the bottom, and then that's the end of that part. But we still need to face that warthog or whatever it was that we saw earlier as the boss. Grog. Some goofy names for the bad guys. Gee, does that level layout look familiar? Double Dragon, anyone? But sometimes you can smush the enemies with your fists and make them small. Now here you gotta watch out. These these weird boulders will roll, and you gotta be out of the way of them. Remember that you can run to get out of the way of them quicker. Yeah, I've got invincibility on at this point, but I just wanted to try to see if I could outrun them. Sometimes you have to get in between them. There'll be one on either side. Then a little bit later, we'll move to the right and face these guys. And then you have these rats in like hazmat suits or something. And again, the guys that you can grab their junk and punch them. This game's sense of humor is pretty funny at times. Now here is the boss. Or maybe he's an opossum. Definitely use that weapon to your advantage while you can use it. It'll, of course, go away after X amount of uses. This guy will inflate and then jump around trying to squish you. Yeah, I've got invincibility, so he can't do that to me, but eventually you'll hit him enough and he'll shrink back down, and he'll just, you know, the cycle will repeat. You'll beat him up enough and then he'll re-inflate. And when you've beaten him up enough to kill him, he overinflates and flies across the room as he loses air. See? His belly button even pops off. Seems like he should burst himself on those spikes. But yeah, we skipped a lot of the gameplay in there. You gotta kick him off the screen. We skipped a lot of the gameplay. You can't fall in those spikes. The game will not let you fall off. As far as I've noticed, the game will not let you fall off edges, which is nice. The collector of corpses. I hope you enjoy your weekend. It seems to have cooled down, at least today, as far as I can tell. That is going to be the final boss, not the Dark Queen. The Dark Queen of Battletoads gained a lot of popularity due to her sex appeal. Can't disagree. Now on this level, you are flying in a spaceship. If you hold down the fire button, you get rapid fire, and you can turn it around with the controller to eight different directions. There will be these little icons that you can shoot, and you can get weapon power up. 3 gives you three-way fire. I can't remember right off the top. Okay, F gives you flamethrower. And then there's another one that gives you electrical laser or something. And we'll look at that in a minute. L, that gives you a laser. And you can also collect extra frog special attacks that we saw earlier. We're just going to look at parts of the level leading up to the final boss. Yeah, I skipped a lot. This game just takes forever. Yeah, the power-ups don't last terribly long. You'll be back to your regular rapid-fire shot like that. The final boss here is just this giant robot head, and he can send his hands after you, or they can shoot fireballs at you. And it's gross towards the end of the fight with him. His head cracks open and you see his mechanical brain or whatever underneath. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Before you have to face him, you have to, and there's more flies to eat to recover energy. Before you face him, you have to destroy this rat in this flying vehicle, and he can shoot lasers at you. But let's just take him out of the equation here, so I can face the final boss. But that really is stupid that you can't face. Well, it's stupid that you can't face the Dark Queen at the end. You don't get to face her at all in this game. Yeah, the original NES Battletoads was, and here's the boss. The original NES Battletoads was quite a bit different. There was some funny attacks that the Battletoads could make, like their fist would become an anvil or a hammer or something like that. But it wasn't nearly as gory as this game. Nor was the humor quite as twisted. See, this game has that going in its corner, but it's just interminable. And it's so stupid that you don't face the Dark Queen at the end. But this boss will appear from different angles, and he'll send these cannons after you. And you can destroy those cannons, but they'll return. And now we'll see his hands throw things at you. Eventually, we'll skip forward, and we'll see him appear from the bottom, and his hands will throw fireballs at you. You have to shoot his hands enough, and then they'll be destroyed, and then it's just his head, and you can destroy it enough to crack it open, and you'll see his mechanical brain underneath, which is gross. And then you have to shoot the head enough. And as you do, you'll see text at the bottom right appear, and it'll say stuff like X amount % power left, and that's, you know, his energy. Yuck. Yeah, you have to watch out for these fireballs that his body is spewing. And you'll still get weapon power-ups. But that's Battletoads, the arcade game. And we'll see the ending in just a little bit. But yeah, you see the text change in the bottom right as you as the robot thing incurs more damage, and then it starts to say funny things as he dies. This game has definitely got some enjoyable moments to it, but it's just way too long. And then you get to tally up your final points. Even little things like missiles can be counted up as points here. But that's Battletoads, the arcade game. And like I said, I saw this once at a nickel arcade. It's stupid that you don't face the Dark Queen at the end. It's stupid that you can't have 3 players play at once, or at least that I've noticed. And it just takes way too long. But that is the arcade game of Battletoads, and like I said, the NES version came out 3 years prior to this, so maybe this was kind of late to do an arcade Battletoads game. Some of the dialogue is funny too. But that is Battletoads, created by Rare, and the arcade version was licensed to Electronic Arts, and the NES version was created by Rare and licensed to Tradewest in 1991. And now we see the credits. But this was Battletoads, the arcade version, created in 1994 by Rare and licensed to Electronic Arts. And yeah, the toads are Zitz, Rash, and Pipple. They didn't show their mentor, Professor Vulture, or whatever his name is, and they didn't show a princess that figures into the Battletoads story. and we barely saw the Dark Queen. There was a cartoon of this for a brief while, and from what I've heard, it's frigging awful. But the Dark Queen was definitely a highlight for the Battletoads series. She was very sexily animated or created. I screwed up the initials. Sorry, because I used two different Battletoads. I got to put in for two different high score lists. I pressed the action button. I was supposed to press like left and right, I think, to move over a letter, and I screwed up. But that's Battletoads. And then there's just a brief look at 2 players at once, but that's the best you can do is 2 players at once, not 3, as far as I could tell. But it's funny. It's worth trying, but don't try to play it through. It's just, it takes too damn long. But that was Battletoads by Rare and licensed to Electronic Arts in 1994. This is Crazy Climber 80 saying thanks for watching Battletoads by Rare and Electronic Arts in 1994, based on the NES game from 1991. Have a good weekend, everybody, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.